Hello everyone and welcome to another day in my Everyday in December video series that I'm doing for the holidays. Hopefully I can keep it up. Now for today's card, this is for CC Designs. It is with it's a Roberto's Rascals Christmas. Now, CC Designs has several collections of stamps and themes, which I absolutely love. Not just because I'm on their design team, but the fact that it has several aspects to certain characters. So these cute little characters I colored in with my Copic markers, and I showed, if you see most of my videos, I use the same amount of colors. But the tip that I have is try to use, if you have multiple images, try to use the same colors in one way or the other on both images, so it's less colors that you have to look around for and you have to worry for. Now, as you see here, I do all the colors at the same time that coordinate, like I did the faces together using my E0, E000, E quadruple zero, E00, E01, and E02 for them, and the cheeks I always do with R30, and that's a lighter blush than the R20. So I absolutely love that. Now the hair colors are the same, but I just try to do them in different strokes and different styles. I use E34, E35, and E37 to give it a little bit of a different look, but using the same colors. Now the little guy hanging the ornament, he is actually hanging it on a tree, but I thought it would be really, really cute because the little girl is dressed is all wrapped up like a little Christmas tree with lights and a star on top of her head. So that is why you don't see all of the trees stamped out on the left image with the little boy. I then move on to, I'm just trying to finish off all the skin colors, so I do it all at once. And then I move on to the reds. The little girl's sweater I do in R24, R27, and R29. And I feel like I'm still on a learning curve. I'm still learning with my Copic colors, and reds are always the toughest because they always seem to bleed. Now with those same colors, I do the little beanie on the little kid's head, and I go back and forth on this because I feel like my coloring still needs a little bit of work. Now for the little girl's little stockings or whatever, the little pantlets, I used the R24 and R30 just with a little bit of light coloring, just to give it R22, excuse me, R22 and R24, just to have a lighter shade, because the little stockings are usually lighter than the actual color. Now here I'm going around with my YG09, which is the darkest of my greens, that I'm going to use for the little girl's skirt. I start with YG09, and sometimes I go from lightest to darkest, and sometimes I go from darkest to lightest. So it's YG09, YG05, and YG07. Now I figured, hey, let's use that darker green to do the bases of the little Christmas lights, just to get it done easier. So now I jump over to the little boy's pants, and I love making them look like khaki pants because I have a hard time. Okay, that's not just because I love khaki pants. That's because I also have a hard time making denim color. Like, I'm still learning on that one. Now for that, for my khakis, I always use E43, E42, and E40. Now I crossed over to the little girl's shoes to make them like little cute brown Mary Janes for for her little outfit. Now I'm coloring the holly with the same colors, the YG09 and the YG07 that I used for the little girl's skirt. For the little boy's little brown loafers, which is what I'm assuming he's gonna wear, little brown loafers, I used the dark brown colors that I used for the hair. So, but I actually just used E34 and E35 out of the three. Now for the shirt, I wanted to have like that cool gray, so I used C00, C3, C1, and C5, just to give it more of like a gray wool kind of look. I didn't want to make it too bright and too colored because I was afraid it was going to kind of bleed into the ornament box. Now that's when I realized, hey, I should have done the ornament box in green, just like the little girl's skirt. So I went ahead with the same colors, YG09, YG05, and YG07, to color in the ornament box. Now, for the shirts on both of them, I used W00, W1, and W3 just to give the white a little shading. Now, I used the same colors that I have here, and I went ahead and did the lights in them, except for the blues. The blues I did bring in BO2 and BO4, but I went ahead and every fourth one I chose a color, two for the blue, two reds, two yellows. Now for the yellows for the star, I used Y13, Y15, and Y17. So out of like most of them, I used three colors. To make light bulbs, I only used two. I just did one little swipe on the left to make it look darker, and then the other color I just blended in. The ornament, I went ahead and used the reds again, R29, R24, and 27, because I felt that the red really stood out, and I thought that would bring focus to how he is putting it onto the little girl's head. And here I am just using the same colors that I used throughout to color the little ornaments. To color the ornaments for the ornament box. Now, here's where I clean up my boo-boos. I use my zero colorless blender, which I've had to refill a lot. I have the big bottle of colorless blender because when you use it's kind of misleading with the name. It's colorless blender, but what it does is actually blend the color into the paper to kind of fade it out if you made any boo-boos. Because here I go and I kind of, as I'm cutting with these scissors, and if you notice, I cut and I move the actual image mostly. But as you're cutting is when you're realizing on the edges where maybe you might have missed or went out of the little lines. And here I am in between, as you see here, with the zero colorless blender, going in and kind of fading out that color, blending it into the paper. That's why you need a heavier cardstock to copy color. And also for the little edge where the little boy is putting the ornament onto the tree, they did have the little stamped area, so I went ahead and covered it with some white jelly pen. Now, I went ahead and took the star from the Trio Collage die set, and I just traced it around the star, and I colored it in. I colored on the inside using those same three colors that I used to color the star on the little girl, the Y13, Y15, and Y17, because I thought it would be a really good idea just to kind of sprinkle these about. I wanted to make a shaker card at first, but I'm like, you know what, let's make it easy. Let's make it easier. So here they are die cut, and you see they have the same shading that the star on her head has. I'm making this an A2 size card and just layering this paper. These paper are from older papers from Lawn Fawn, and this is the quad collage die, which I'm using out of the same Lawn Fawn stack, and it's the one that has like the snowfall or the bouquet and the candy cane stripes. So here again, just getting some dimensionalness on my little guys over here. This is always a little bit of a task, but it's totally worth it to give it a little bit of dimension. I kind of wanted to give it like a faux window look. We're looking out and there's snow. That was kind of my idea. And I'm going to head and take this lobster ink. Now here's a paper where I stamped the images and I kind of messed them up. So that's where I practiced my other stamping. And I just wanted to put in the Be Merry and Bright because I thought that was really cute because the little girl is wrapped up in lights. And here I'm just setting everything up and getting everything down. And I was kind of like figuring out where the little guy and the little girl went just to get it set up. And here I'm just sprinkling the stars about, and I go back and I change them because why not, right? But that is my card today. That is my project. So please make sure that you're checking out the CC Design store. There is a sale going on, by the way. And thank you for joining me for another day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys like the project. Let me know what you guys think. And if you have any other ideas, let me know. Thank you, and I'll talk to you guys. Bye.